Hello! So, I thought I'd do something that say something that needs to be said, and talk about something that needs to be talked about. And that is Java. Java, the programming language. And, believe it or not, why I really like that language. Because you've probably, if, I don't know, maybe this is the first time you see me on the screen, but if I have made a few videos where I've talked a lot about Java, and some things I don't like about it, and some things that are better with other programming languages. And I thought I'd do them I'll do the language justice with this video, because believe it or not, I actually like it. I actually do like Java for doing certain things. And I am a little bit biased, I will admit. I have this special place reserved in my heart, because when I started my career as a programmer, I actually started learning Java. It was the first school language, rather. When I was in school, this is what we were taught. We did that. And even though, it's a really emotional reason, if at best it's completely illogical in many ways, it's still something that, sorry, every day at the same time that guy runs by. I wonder if I pissed him off in a previous life or something like that, but I don't know. Anywho, so it's a nostalgic thing for me. It's because it's been so long since when I came out into the workforce. I started doing JavaScript instead, and that's kind of what I've been doing since then. The next job that's coming up, it's actually going to be in Scala, and I'm really excited about that. But whenever I get to it's there are these computer games or these things that you'll not touch them for years and years and years, and then somebody comes along and reminds you of how awesome it was, and then you try it, and then you get really excited about it again. For me, that's like Deus Ex. It's anytime anybody mentions, I saw a meme about this, anytime anybody talks about that game, somebody reinstalls it and plays it again, right? This is exactly how it is with Java and me. For the most part, I don't think about it, and then somebody comes along and reminds me how great a feeling it is to work in that language, and then I install Eclipse, or now I'm going over to IntelliJ. But I install the IDE and I try to put some stuff up, and then I get really frustrated because it's so fucking difficult to set things up. Now, on the plus side, when it comes to Java, one of my absolute favorite things about Java is how easy it is to package things, like the jar and war concepts, where you basically package everything into this single file. That is sexy as all hell to me. I love that. I love it so much. It's the same reason I love having a single executable binary. It's the same type of principle, and I think it's such a great thing. I really, really like that way of working, and that makes it very easy. I mean, a lot of the hassle of managing environments and all this extra ops stuff that you have to do with other languages, it becomes so simple and trivial in Java, where you have a jar or a war, and all you need to do, you can send that file to anybody. If you want to put it in a web server, you simply put it in the right directory. You don't have to think so much about it's very simple. I really like it. Simplicity, I think, is the key here. Java is a very simple language in many aspects. Then there are absolutely things that are not so simple, but that's one of them anyway. Another thing I really like about it is it's this holistic accessibility to everything. It's for all its faults, and for the most part, I really only think that Java has the only real fault of Java is how much inferred knowledge and the poor state of their community. Java is great if you have somebody who is fairly up to date with the language teaching you firsthand, that I think that's what you're going to need, because it's very difficult to, in my opinion, it's very difficult to learn Java, and not just the language, like all the tools around it, and making sure everything works and so forth by yourself, because the resources on the web, some of them are great. I mean, there are a few YouTubers who are really good at it, and then for every one good tutorial I find on Java, I find 100 things that are really bad and really poorly done. So I'm not saying it's all good, but one of the things that, apart from the nice and easy packaging, I really like about it is that if you have a question or if you need to solve a problem, odds are that there is somebody there to help you. There is somebody who has most likely already made a tutorial or something of that nature. Java creates a very safe little bundle which you can focus on just that one thing. That's a good thing and a bad thing, and I think that it's a good thing in many cases, because when you start out, you don't really that's a problem that is very, very present in Node and JavaScript land, and that is what I call knowledge snowballing. So if I tell you you should learn JavaScript, then every single person who is going to help you are going to teach you JavaScript, and then talk about NPM and Node, and then you need to learn Node, and then to make a web server you need to learn Express, and then you need to learn about middlewares, and then you need to learn about you see, it snowballs on you. It keeps on growing and growing, and there's more and more tools you need to understand. Java does not do that. It doesn't do that. It has everything in place. It's very, very easy for you to get started very quickly. As I said, the only problem to me today, and that's probably on my end, I mean, you can argue all you want about accessibility and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure that if I had the same type of experience with just working with Java as I have with Node and other languages, I'm pretty sure it would be trivial to make all this stuff work. So overall, I think what's appealing to me about Java is that it's this workhorse language. It's tried and true, and unless you didn't know that, there's 3 things you need to learn about Gothenburg. First and foremost, never ever look a stranger in the eye. We have never done it here in Gothenburg. We don't know what will happen, but all I know is that you never, it was the first thing I learned. Never look a stranger in the eye, because we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Second, we are complete, this is just really only goes for you if you're a girl. You have to wear a leather jacket, waist-high leather jacket. It can be white, but then you're pushing your luck. It should be black. You should have a handbag and tight jeans and a pair of sneakers, and then straight hair. That's the rule. If you don't wear that, something bad will happen, because there's something going on. Like, every other woman I see on the streets is dressed this way. I don't know why, but I'm assuming that it's part of some bigger scheme of some sort. And lastly, this entire city runs on Java. Like, almost every single thing here in the corporate world, Volvo, Telia and so forth, are it's using Java. C# is here as well. It's fairly popular as well, but Java it's very, very much present, and I think that it's very, very appealing to me to be really knowledgeable, know a lot of stuff about these bread and butter industry languages, because it gives you, if nothing else, it gives you a lot of job security. It feels nice. I mean, it's not the sexiest technology in the world, and it might not be the most trendy thing, but it's stable, and you know that should the trends switch and all of a sudden, there's a economic downfall, odds are that maybe a lot of the smaller, trendier languages goes away, but Java's probably still going to be there, and I think that's a really good thing.